my goodness. And there it is. Wow, gets it to Bendigo. Practice has completed, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to day number 2, round number 3 of the 2021 PWBA Greater Cleveland Open, live from Yorktown Lanes in Parma Heights, Ohio. My name is Emil Williams Jr., alongside Mike Flanagan. Cashers round time. We've made the cut to the top 32 from a very, very incredible field. 76 bowlers started yesterday. We're down now to 32. Of course, today's round will take us to the top 12 for this afternoon's round at 2:30 p.m. And, of course, step ladder finals tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Brianna Cote is your leader. She led after both rounds of qualifying yesterday, although it was quite close last night between her and Deandra Asbeatty. They were tied heading into game number 12 last night, and a big 259 game from Brianna Cote sealed the deal in regards to entering today via qualifying as the top seed. We'll bring in Mike Flanagan now. And Mike, boy, talked about some high scores. We certainly got our fix in that regard. And, I think we should expect more of the same today.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I mean, imagine if you're Burgett or Shannon Polhowski averaging 236 or better, and you're not in the top 4 this week. So you're gonna have to have your striking shoes on today. It's not 660 anymore out here on tour. This week it's 700. You got to have 700 or more just to stay pace. And if you want to make a run, come from 32nd or down below that cut number, as we are cutting from 32 now down to 12, which is always fun. Cuts are fun, because there's a lot of excitement. The last couple games coming down the stretch, you and me will be running around here trying to figure out who's going to make it in, report it to the great people. And then we're going to be able to cut it down to 12, and then we'll be back later this afternoon with 6 more games. And then that step ladder tonight, it's probably going to be high scoring. It's going to be eventful. And maybe 2 weeks in a row, we'll have a 300 in the final. What do you say? I'm throwing it out there now.
I think it's certainly possible this week, especially on the fresh, and we expect games to be that high as we begin this round as well. 2 players to note specifically. We talked about Brianna Cote. Deandra Asbeatty was phenomenal as well, averaging just under 240, 239.92 yesterday at plus 479. Brianna Cote finished at plus 509. As we begin our bowling broadcast, of course, with Abby Ragsdale, Jordan Richards, and Maria Jose Rodriguez. Over on 21 and 22, and then to their left, 19 and 20, Verity Crawley, Lindsay Boomershine, and Caitlin Johnson. Speaking of Lindsay Boomershine, at plus 421 is Lindsay, and she was in 3rd place for really much of yesterday's qualifying. A few moves from the positional standpoint, but she bowled extremely well yesterday. So I want to highlight certainly Lindsay. Mike just talked about Birgit at plus 436. She finished in 5th. Taylor Bailey, very, very well done in qualifying. 14:23 and 14:19 were her 2 6-game blocks. She is 3rd at plus 442. Now, Danielle McCune, who settled into 4th place after last night's qualifying, made the big move from 35th 4th from round 1 to round 2. 15:45 is what Danielle shot for 6 games during last night's qualifying block. 245, 187, 270.
I'm going to stop you. The 187 is what is shocking.
187, 279, 268, 277, 289. Incredible bowling from D-Mac. Again, moving from 35th to fourth place last night. And Shannon Puhalski, Mike talked about her a lot yesterday from a strategic perspective, the success and comfortability in this building and understanding some of the things she's done in the past. 3 purple urethanes, all set, surfaced, and ready to go each time she's got to make a switch. Essentially, no gutter for her. She can throw it essentially as left as she wants. It's going to hook, and that spells success, and it did last night for Puhalski. A 6-game block of 1478. Was leading the block for quite some time until, of course, Danielle McEwen did Danielle McEwen things. So that's what we have for you today.
Danielle bowled 834 her last 3 games, and this is USBC sanctioned, so there's an 800 series award coming her way.
So, and I did mention Birgit, and talked about her first. Birgit, Taylor, mentioned Lindsay Boomershine, of course, D-Mac, Shannon Puhalski, obviously Brianna Cote, and Deandra Asbeatty. The 2 players I think that have just kind of gone under the radar in this situation have been Birgit and Lindsay Boomershine. And I think that for me, I think that's pretty cool if I was a player because, all right, D-Mac had some fantastic success, so obviously she's going to get a little extra word in because she was dope last night. I've been doing my thing too. Sounds like I can just continue to do my thing, fly on the radar. Next thing I know, I'm in the top 4 when it's all said and done.
Yeah, and if you're no stranger to Bowl TV, you kind of know the theme here. We talk about a 6-game qualifying block, and we talk about how far back can you be to make a run to get into the cut number, right? So at 12th right now, Stephanie Johnson at plus 352. As a rule of thumb, we typically go back about 100 pins. We typically say you can make up about 100 pins realistically. So 352 the number. 25th position, Dasha, plus 259. So Dasha and above are within 100 pins of the cut number. That does not mean that Elise Bolton or Liz Calkin or Abby Ragsdale or Caitlin Johnson or Rocio or Kayla or Jen that they can't make it in. But it's going to take a huge block, similar to what we saw from Danielle McEwen last night for 6 games. It can be done, but the number we look at is about 100 pins to jump in there. Glad you're with us this morning. Working on PWBA number 1 for you. Pace is going to be pretty quick this morning. Each game should take about 20 minutes or so, especially with the amount of strikes that are out there. And you're right, we did see Verity throw it in the gutter, which is certainly uncharacteristic. Here's Caitlin Johnson. Wow, a lot of power on that. You see those pins fly? Caitlin's in 29th at plus 223. Of course, Verity here, she's in 8th at plus 393. 45 pins outside of the top 4. Remember, it is a top 4 step ladder tonight, 6 o'clock Eastern. Not going to miss it. I can't help but look at the leaderboard here and think about, as we're in our 6th event of the season, 2-time champion on the season. Brianna Cote has already got 1 title this year. Tournament leader. If she can hold on and bowl for the title, she could be our first 2-time champion out here on the PWBA Tour for the 2021 season. 20 titles up for grabs in total this year. Julia Bond sits in 20th. She also has a title this year, plus 278. Dasha Kovalova is 25th, also has a title this year.
All right, good people. Thanks for that note, by the way, regarding 15 through 18. Good morning to everyone, by the way. So we'll get PWBA 1 back in business. Right now, of course, it is showing bowling. Somehow our scoreboard shots were frozen, which isn't good. It may require a restart, so potentially it could go down and come back up here shortly. I don't know if Mike mentioned this, but Peter Gett has started with the front 6. Would continue to expect high scores on the fresh. But if you're someone like Danielle McEwen, you can find score in the middle, or I should say late to middle rounds of a block. To get to the top 12, let's see. By the way, Jen Higgins was the number at plus 192 last night. Hi, Fred, by the way. I certainly would encourage you to check out the best women in the world, PWBA. We do have some folks coming in looking for ITC action, the Intercollegiate Team Championships. The action has concluded on Bowl TV. The next time you'll see the Intercollegiate Team Championships will be on CBS Sports Network. I believe the first show will be the women's singles show. And that might be Tuesday. Please do not quote me. I do not have the full schedule. But I believe it should be on bowl.com/collegiate. And I also still could be completely wrong about that. So there's that. Haley Richard indeed with the front 6. Bjerget with the front 7. All right, so Higgins last night plus 192 the number. Last week, Jen Higgins was the cut number as well. And then in Minnesota, I believe she just missed by a few sticks of advancing to the cashers round. Kayla Crawford, who shot 14.08 for 6 games in round 1, struggled mightily last night, including the triplicate, 3 200 games in a row. She started the block, 176, 159, and had to shoot 258, including needing to double in the 10th frame last night to sneak into the number. So talk about a roller coaster, certainly, especially for a young player. But that is excellent perseverance. Get with the front 8. Stephanie Zavala has started strike 6-bagger. Liz Colkin has gone strike spare 5-bagger. Birgit has the front 8. And it looks like front 9 to me. So. But of course, that is currently where we're having some issue and getting fixed. Wow. So when it's time, I'm going to attempt to pan this camera so we can try to get to Birgit. All right, Mike has done the job. Quick, fast, and in a hurry, so I appreciate that. So now we do have, and will have, here gets front nine or 300 attempt on today.
Just in time. We got that rebuilt and everything up and running just in time for this, man.
All right, so now that we're back in business, we'll go up and see what's been missed here. First and foremost, as you can see here to get front nine. Looking for Haley Richard. Her run actually stopped at ring number 7. She missed a single pin, has doubled to follow. Looks like Brianna Cote is 2 strikes away from shooting 279. All right, here is Bierget. First shot, 10th frame. And that's a good one. Mike is on the prowl, if you will. He is watching. His camera is out. He's handling business. And of course, because the camera was out, there were still good things that took place. Obviously, it could have been better.
Well, this is a magnificent start this morning for Birgit. I think you said it best a little bit ago, Emil. There are players that have been flying under the radar. And I think Birgit knew that and came in and decided to pull this big game to get things started here this morning for us. With that game, Birgit is going to move inside the top 4. But I think it's really impressive to see what Brianna Cote is doing, you know, at this scoring pace, to just keep coming out and throwing uppercuts with big, big numbers. And that opening game by Brianna, you know, I talked about it while we were dealing with our situation here that we now have corrected, which is great. So hope everything will be good the rest of the day here. Is, you know, we're looking for our first 2-time champion this year as well. 5 players have that opportunity. We have 5 separate champions, and Brianna has an opportunity to be a 2-time champion. I mean, she could be bowling for this title here this evening.
The way it's going, kind of like the how it started, how is it going, or how it's going, social deal. I mean, we're on the way to potentially just putting up strikes for both of those for Bree, and it could be the same for a couple of other players, as we've mentioned as well.
Yeah, we still got some bowling going on here, so we'll head down to PWBA number 3 here. Looks like Liz Falcon, who made a nice run yesterday. She was on the outside of that top 32, did exactly what she needed to do, bowled a big 260 game to finish the day. And this morning, the Queen Bee opens up with 249. Stephanie Johnson also has been right there. Didn't bowl quite as well her second block yesterday. She bowled 14:58 in the morning, 12:94 in the afternoon, evening time. And now she opens up at 2:55 this morning, looking to solidify herself inside the top 12. 232 for Stephanie Zavala. Elise Bolton, 179 up on the board. Diana Z, possible 234 with a fill. She's probably going to try a different bowling ball here. And Jody Westner now with a strike in the 10th frame, can bowl 246. I got a shout out from Aaron Hawkins on Twitter as I was going through my Twitter feed yesterday. Loved it when I said, and Jody Westner with 270 out there. So hopefully Aaron's watching. Hope you're doing well. And as we talked about, Emil, when we went to lunch before the practice squad, which was, 2 days ago now, we talked about, haven't seen Jody Westner out on tour. And I didn't see her name on the list. I just overlooked it. And we pulled right in the parking lot. And who did we see in an SUV out there? We saw Jody Westner. And Jody doesn't pull all the stops, but here she is right now, 13th coming in. Getting ready to pull 230 here out of the gate. Solid game. Always sticks it at the line. Very fundamentally sound. And one of the best bowlers from these parts here in Ohio.
It's great to see Jody. And I feel like sometimes it's, when it's your first event, it might take a little bit to get the feet underneath you, if you will. But that wasn't the case for Jody. If it was, she certainly didn't show.
I like what Ken says here in the chat. I think it will be impossible to guess who will make the cut and eventually win the tournament with these high scores. That right there, my friend, you get the early morning lead on chat of the day. All right, comment of the day from Ken. Looks like we're getting ready to move into game number 2 very quickly here. I'm going to pop up the oil pattern really quick just in case you didn't have a chance to join us so far. What the ladies are bowling on here, 38 feet in length. Notice most of the ice oil is applied on the way down, very little on the way back. 1.93 to 1 ratio. Players are forced to play towards the outside part of the lane. Great pin carry here in this building. The pins do fly here. One of the best carrying centers you will see on the PWBA Tour this year.
Mike's going to go change a few items. So scrolling up here, catching up on perhaps what we missed. Thanks, Fran, for dropping that record in the chat. $16.30 by Jackie Sellers-Mitskovich. There was some, I think I mentioned this yesterday, there were some records potentially, obviously with DMAC, of course, but I had to go back to the 2018 well, I think it was 2018. Yes, 2018 St. Petersburg Clearwater Open. And both Daria Payok and Liz Kolkin were potentially nearing record pace, or they were on record pace and potentially nearing a situation where they could have broken records. At that point, the blocks were 8 games.
Emil, I know a lot of folks want to know about skip procedures. Jen Higgins, Brianna Cote, Deandra Asbeatty started on lanes 13 and 14. They have now moved over to lanes 19 and 20. And we have them for you now, our leaders. After that, they'll move to lanes 23 and 24. And then they'll just move right next door to 25 and 26. Then to 31 and 32. And they'll make the jump down to 17 and 18. So that's just an idea of what the skip procedure looks like here today for the ladies. All ladies will be skipping the same amount of lanes, moving to the right. They will stay with whoever is on their pair for all 6 games of our third round of qualifying. So here we go, Emil. We got a chance to look at our tournament leader, Brianna Cote, lined up this morning, along with Deandra Asbeatty, Jen Higgins. And then right next door, Kayla Crawford, Taylor Bailey, and Danielle McEwen.
They speak with Danielle this morning, and the foot certainly is still an issue. I think many of you certainly who watched last night could tell on particular shots, certainly not every one, but some shots she felt and feels more pain than others. But she is grinding and really trying to get to just kind of get to the PWBA break. There's a little bit of a break after the Louisville Open, I believe, in June. So to give it obviously some time to heal, get better, stay off of it. But she's such a competitor. And we talked a little bit about it yesterday. The livelihood, you would have to just literally take Danielle's bowling balls away for her not to be out here.
Yeah, hey Sal, you noticed on the oil chart that they are just using ice oil. It is ice oil only being applied using tank A, so that's a good catch. And this morning, Emil, Score Dash is up and running.
Yeah, big thanks to Rick.
Delivery driver, yeah.
Already had some movement, of course, to the leaderboard, that you would expect. Last night it was Danielle making the extreme moves up the leaderboard. I said 39th or 35th earlier. It was 39th. 39th to 4th last night.
That's incredible.
She started the day in 4th and right now remains in 4th. Brianna Cote is 1st.
Yeah, it looks like Brianna has moved to 588 over. Birgit is at 524. I mean, these are incredible plus numbers. A lot of math has to be done here. Deandra Esbady now moves to plus 500. Danielle McEwen plus 474. Taylor Bailey plus 471. Lindsay Boomersheim plus 467. 7 pins separate 7th and 4th right now. 6th and 4th, excuse me. Right now, 12th, Jody Westner with a pinfall of 29.93. 393 over, if my math is correct there. Jordan Richard just 10 pins back. Haley Richard 30 pins back. Diana Z 35 back of the cut number currently. Scores are up on PWBA.com. But it was Birgit with 288 leading the way in game number 1. Brianna Cote had the second high game at 279. Stephanie Johnson 255. It's in 10th position now inside the top 12. We had a pair of 247s between Clara Guerrero and Tanya Rumpenberg. Out of the top 20 currently in the standings, we only had 2 games under 200. 190 and 198. Speaks to the scoring pace.
About Deandra, like I may have mentioned this, and I apologize if he did. 221 was Dee's first game. I believe, Mike, you probably have more info in the first couple of weeks regarding D-Mac's injury. Did you mention this yesterday, probably?
Say that again.
D-Mac's injury.
Oh, do I know much about it?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you know, it was kind of like hidden under a rock, right? Like there were these rumors that there was something wrong with her foot. And I believe it had something to do with just kind of a freak accident with like a case box of bowling balls. I haven't talked to her about it, so it's all hearsay. But from what I've been reported is a toe injury. And when you slide and when you think about this, right, and you think about a push-off foot, you know, if you're watching Bull TV right now, you know, stand up for a second and imagine you're getting ready to push off the ball of your foot, right? Like, and feel the pressure on your toe. That hurts if it's not right, and that's what she's been dealing with. And when you have that annoyance and nuisance and pain, and these ladies over the course of 2 days, Emil, as we all know, we forget this. They're bowling 24 games in 2 days. I don't know about you, but I'm out of repetition and I don't bowl as much anymore. I go and bowl 3 games and I feel it the next morning. Now, these ladies obviously are in great shape and they do this, you know, on a week in and week out basis. But when you deal with that and there's no time off to let it heal and rest, it's going to continue to be an issue for you longer because you continue to bowl, and she still practices. And she told me a couple weeks ago, maybe it was last week, she says when she practices, it doesn't feel as bad, but in competition, it does, especially with 5 on a pair, that slower pace. And it's going to take a while to get through it.
Yeah, it's very noticeable on her second shots when she has to shoot spares. And I talked to her this morning. She said she didn't even really notice how much, weight and whatever goes on that foot when she's shooting spares or cross lane until obviously she has been dealing with this injury. So, which obviously adds to what is the aura, right? Because she makes the show today.
Right. And last week, we did have an interview with her last week at the end of the squad, and I did ask the question about the toe, and she said that actually it was after practice, and she said that she wakes up, she deals with it every day, and she just hopes that someday soon she'll wake up and not have pain, and then she can just go on about her business again. Because I think she's aggravated with it in general. And I will tell you that yesterday we should Danielle McEwen should have been standing here talking to us, right? And I'm kind of the guy that goes out and wrangles up who's going to come in here as Emil's anchoring the broadcast. But when Danielle's dealing with that, and she had such a huge day, and it was late. It got kind of late. I did not necessarily see her nearby, and I also didn't want to bother her when she's dealing with that. I don't know if she has a process that she ices it, or if she's got some sort of meditation that she does. That I don't know what her process is. I just don't know enough about it. So I wouldn't want to keep her here any longer than what we need to. So today, I have every intention of making sure, I don't know how much time we're going to have between blocks and stuff, though. So that's kind of my thought process in it. I want to talk to Danielle. I want you to be able to talk to her, Emil, about it all, because I think she'll open up to you about it, maybe more so than she would with me. But to put a ribbon and a bow on this whole thing, I've been out here the last 2 weeks. Danielle McEwen has not been herself. She is a superstar bowler. And it's been frustrating to watch as a fan. It's been disappointing to watch as a fan, and I felt bad for her with what she's been going through. But this week, look what we're seeing. And I couldn't be happier for her personally, and I know she's got a ton of fans out there as well. But I am handling Danielle McEwen with a little bit of caution, just from my own personal perspective, because she's never had to deal with something like this before that I am aware of. But how awesome would it be if she won this week, got that monkey off her back, and can start to build in this season? And JT talks about this every week. Danielle McEwen is a slow starter on the PWBA tour. And you can speak to this more than myself, Emil, I'm sure, because you've been out here doing this. I've only been out here for a few weeks this year. It's an honor and a privilege, but traditionally in the past, she starts slow and finishes strong. Is that an accurate assessment?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, last year 2019, I told you she missed the cut here in Cleveland, which was very uncharacteristic, and then certainly went on a Danielle type of run. So it's very rare, obviously, when she misses any cuts. And so to see that, generally speaking, either she really couldn't outbowl that ball reaction or something's wrong.
I kind of feel like, right now there's this big thing in the NFL about Aaron Rodgers, right? And they're making a big deal out of something that really isn't much. Adam Schefter broke some news that, on draft day, that Aaron Rodgers wants out of Green Bay, and he admitted on the Dan Patrick Show yesterday or 2 days ago that he was just taking a bunch of information and decided to just make this decision and put it out there. There was no new news, no nothing had happened. And I'm mentioning this because I kind of feel like I don't want that to happen with Danielle here, but I feel like no matter what, it's like it's just kind of happened that way. It's become this larger story than really what it is. I mean, she's dealing with an injury that should be minor, but it's affecting her delivery. Doesn't quite feel right. She's experiencing pain. It sucks for her. It sucks for us as being fans of bowling. We don't know how long it's going to go. So
Stephanie Zavala looks like she's got the front 9. And where I believe she might be on PWBA 4. Yeah, I think we can catch that. Let's see. All right, Stephanie Zavala, former Sam Houston State All-American. Jordan Richard, by the way, also with the front 8. Peter, there will be some giveaways today. There has been 1 300, 1 299, 1 298. Jordan Richard now with the front 9. It's a good cross to Ragsdale, Richard, and Rodriguez. Mike has made the move. Off camera, Rocio throwing some good shots here. I'll keep you updated, of course, on Get as well. Right, Zavala and Richard both about to step up. First, we watch Maria Jose Rodriguez. There's the ball's offering, and that is through the nose, 3-6-10. So, continue to keep your eyes on Zavala. Now over to Jordan Richard. And a 2-8 for Jay Rich. So 2 opportunities, and 2 potential black clouds. You don't want to throw that on, certainly might. I know we still have some individuals looking for the intercollegiate team championships. They have now moved on to the finals of every event, and all of those will be taped today on site. Definitely check your local listings for CBS Sports Network. I'm pretty sure one show, the women's singles show, will be airing this coming Tuesday. But I do not know the full schedule. Check bowl.com/collegiate. 252. For McEwen. All right, any additional bowling going on? I think PWBA 3. There is Verity Crawley.
Yeah, I just want to make a mention here, Emil. You know, Stephanie Johnson, great start, 250 out of the gate. And yeah, I did cloud him down there. I go down there and all the ball reps, Nathan and Matt and Sean, say, get out of here. Get out of here, they tell me. Get out of here. And sure enough. Got 2 of them down there today.
Kulhowski, Birgit, Rocio, Caitlin Johnson, Lindsay Boomershine, and Verity Crawley, although PWBA 3 at the moment.
Yeah, and that was our best feed yesterday here.
How's 1?
1 was the best one?
No, how is 1 currently?
Oh, 1 looks good. 1 looks good. We can go there. Michelle says this camera doesn't have good reception. Yeah, it's an extreme setup here, folks. I gotta tell you, it's. You should see Emil and I up here. This morning's been a fun one to start today, I gotta say. But you know what, man? We're grinding through it. It's like, actually today, the stream is like we're bowling on the U.S. Open pattern. We're picking our spares. We're not striking a lot right now, but we're getting through it. 2-0 is a good score right now for us.
247 for Shannon Pluhowski.
I was a little worried about her after game 1. She pulled the lowest score out of the top 20, 190, game number 1.
All right, let's try one more time.
Great song, too, by the way, by Daft Punk. They just recently broke up. One more time.
Lindsay Boomershine in a minute. Could be trying to strike one more time. Verity Crawley does it. Birgit can get to 214. Let's see the early cut scores and the guests. Yeah, we mentioned that a little bit yesterday. Thanks, Sal. By the way, thank you as well. It's just the main channel that sometimes presents challenges. If you watch each individual channel on their own or as individuals, everything seems to be just fine, which is good overall. All right, Boomershine can get to 205, of course, with the spare. I think she took that opportunity to try something. I think she's in a very good place standings wise. That one pin right there won't be too much. And we are on to game 3. Looks like everyone is complete. Now that's a really good question. What should we quickly take a look at here? We'll have, let's see, in front of us, just from position wise, we see Carrie Smith, Clara, Tanya, and Julie are nearby. Kayla, Taylor, Danielle to our right. Seal, Shannon, Birgit have made their way down to the high end.
Got a rare Rick Barbera sighting here on camera.
Don't forget, folks, at BowlerX.com, you can shop the biggest brands in bowling with the largest selection, best price, and free shipping on every order. Remember, when you shop at BowlerX, you are supporting bowling. BowlerX proudly gives back to bowlers through tournament sponsorships, bowling causes, professional athletes, youth bowling, and more. Don't forget BowlerX.com for the love of bowling.
Yeah, Chris Desant, one of the owners of Bowler X, actually bowled this event this week. Good to see Chris out on the lanes.
Let's see. Well, right now, PWBA 3 remains the choice. We'll see where Brianna Cote is this game and see if she's on camera. More than likely she is. We'll check in on her progress. And she is next door to us visually, 23 and 24. She's directly in front of me. Well, there she is. So you got the best of both worlds. So Higgins Cote. And Jen Higgins has made a nice move to start things here after a couple of games. It's gone from 32nd to 24th. And certainly after game 3, you start to really kind of key in on obviously the top 12, which is what we're watching today. Right now, that spot belongs to Jody Wessner. Thank you, everyone, tuning in. This is Game 3, round of 32 this morning here on BowlTV.com. Emil Williams Jr., Mike Flanagan. Big thanks to Aaron Smith and Jason Thomas. Handle business at the ITCs this week. We got some new scores for you.
Yeah, I believe we've got someone now in the 600s over.
Yes, that is your leader, Brianna Cote, at plus 613. Here gets into second at plus 538. Danielle McEwen third at plus 526. Cote and Birgit both at 500, or I should say 504 and 502 respectively after a couple of games. So again, Asbeatty in fourth at plus 517. Taylor Bailey is fifth at plus 505. Stephanie Zavala sixth at plus 491. A tie for seventh. Lindsay Boomershine and Shayna Puhowski at plus 471. Stephanie Johnson ninth at plus 465. Jordan Richard 10th at plus 461. Maria Jose Rodriguez is 11th at plus 433. And right now, Jody Wessner again 12th at plus 432. Verity Crawley is 13th at plus 421. Ashley Galante is 14th at plus 394. Diana Zavialova is 15th at plus 393. Haley Richard is 16th at plus 364.
Yeah, and Liz Calkins up to 18th, Emil. She started the day with 249 and followed up with 259. She sits at plus 338. He is 94 back of 12 with 4 to play.
And at one point last night, she was the number, cut number that is. I think with about a game to go. So Deandra, who has given a few pins back. Strike 3 bagger. He went front 4. Brianna Cote front 4.
Yeah.
Saw that miss spare there on the right bomb from Puhalski, but in front of you, Asbeatty now with 4 in a row. 4 pin there for D-Mac.
Five players are averaging 250 through 2 games this morning. Liz Culkin in 18th, 508. Stephanie Johnson in 9th, 513. Stephanie Zavala, 509 and 6th. Burgett, 502, currently in 2nd. And Brianna Cote, 504, your leader.
Wow. Obviously, the good scoring pace certainly has continued. Talked to Nathan Bohr this morning before competition started, and he didn't see or foresee too much of anything changing necessarily. He said last night there were a few players who maybe did it a little differently, maybe a couple of different bowling balls, but really that was about it. Because not only did he say the lane condition, but the lane surface itself, nice spare for Jen Higgins. But the lane surface itself essentially just wouldn't allow you to make larger moves left, chase it left. Your ball should not have been, for those who were even near 15, that might have been questionable. But that's as far left as bowling balls are going. especially for right-handers, of course. And we saw where Shannon Bluchowski was playing. Outside of 5 for the lefty and closer to 1 or 2. Even with the less bowlers, of course, per pair, etc. I don't see too much that looks different than what we've seen in our previous 12 games of qualifying.
Brianna Cote is making it look easy out there. She's crossing about the 10th board, getting it out to about 6 or 7, and her ball is reading perfectly. I've been told we should check in on PWBA number 4.
I was just about to say that.
Let's go there now.
Lindsay and Verity. And of course, Brianna Cote, who we were just watching. Cote about to be in the 7th frame. But Boomershine already in the 7th frame, and now she's got the front 7, as does Crawley.
I'll work on that feed. See what I can do there.
Thanks, Mike.
What's up? Jody.
So Verity has the front 8. Lindsay wrapped a 10-pin. Front 9s and 8s. I was to say front 9s. I think we've had, well, let's see. We had 2 last game. Maybe 1 if my memory serves correct. We've got a 300. There's a 299, a 298. That would be 3. 287 that I saw with my own eyes. That would be 4. I think around 8, 9 maybe opportunities at 300.
There's been a bunch. A couple funny things happening here. 27, 28, 29, 30. Of course, Verity, her string comes to an end here. Still 279 out there for Verity. But Rocio went up and had a messenger come flying across. It looked like it was going to take out the 10 pin, and then the scoring unit decided to give it a strike as well. So they're correcting that score down there right now. She is attempting the 10 pin, but it could have fell on the first try. These 4 lanes right here, Emil, seem to be pretty high scoring. We saw, Jordan Richard down there had a big string. We've had in 2 games, we've had four front 8s, I think. Front 7, front 8s on those 4 lanes.
I think someone had asked about good pairs. I'm not sure there's been a bad pair. And I'm not sure really because I'm not sure. I didn't really get to see much of the low end. But the way the pace has been, there may be some pairs that produce some higher scores. I think the players, have said even pair to pair. Of course, there's going to be a little bit of a difference as you move.
Yeah, 1 through 34 were in play yesterday, so there was a defined low end. And now pairs in play today, 13 through 32. So 1 through 12 out of play, 35 through 40 out of play.
4-9 there for Crawley. If she makes this in strikes, that'll get it at 267.
What do you think, about 30% to make this?
It's online. Good shot at that. 256. That's one of those frustrating situations there. You go front 8-9 spare 4-9. Only shoot 256. And you have to add only for this week. Boomershine can finish at 279.
Yeah, Caitlin Johnson, 222. And, Caitlin Johnson, she's young, but she keeps getting checks out here. She's not going to make it into the top 12 here, so this will be the end of her run here. But she is a player to keep your eye on throughout the rest of the season. Going to continue to just get better and better. Gaining some valuable experience, getting some reps in the round of 32 here, qualifying. That was an uncharacteristic miss of the 7 pin by Rowe. Just like that, she had a huge game going. Leaves that 10 pin with the messenger. Has to have the machine reset it. Goes up, has a light shot. Leaves a sticky 7 pin, and then misses it. Washington's going to have to double in the 10th to be in the 2 teams. Burgett with some 10 action over at the 10. And now Burgett's going to be sub 200 here. Max score 192. Maybe a little lane transition.
Looking for Liz Culkin, but I don't. I don't see her, which means he is probably complete.
Yeah, she was down on 33 and 34. She's going to move to 13 and 14 the next game. And then we will have her for the final 2 games on our camp hitter. And she looks to make a run to make it into the top 12.
Moving pretty quickly.
Oh, we're moving real fast. Emil, the scores and three on a lane. It's fast and furious. But I will say this: this next scoring update we're going to get is going to be telling. With 3 to play, got 3 games under our belt. Lanes are starting to transition a little bit. Players are having to make the flip from one end to the other. Liz Culkin pulled really well. We'll see what her game 3 was. And now she's moving all the way down to where you classify as the low end, 13 and 14. We've seen when you have to make the flip, lanes can be a little bit tricky. You got to make a couple guesses. That's where the ball reps really come into play. And communication when you make those moves from pair to pair.
Let's get you over to 1 real quick. Actually, no, that won't matter too much. Let's go back to 4. I think Biergate went to chat with Chuck Gardner. So this is a pretty important fill shot. Danielle McEwen shot 258. .746 for the first three for D-Mac. As I've been talking about, what Brianna Cote has been doing. And I don't know if I've seen Bree in such a relaxed state. I mean, she is just the definition right now of handling business. Just doing her thing. Yeah, last night we talked about and she mentioned it, what she described as an unacceptable performance. Speaking of Brianna Cote, an unacceptable performance last week in Lincoln. Meaning, for her, she said she didn't bowl bad. She just couldn't match up. And I think as bowlers, everyone who may have experienced that once or twice certainly can understand. Execute it very well, and when you do that, and I talked about execution yesterday, when you execute well and still don't get the results, you certainly can understand where Bree is coming from there. And so this week, and Deandra mentioned it a little bit also, Dee had some similar situations happen last week. Doesn't mean that obviously they are worse bowlers. It just didn't happen that day. And then they both come in yesterday and light them up. Mike mentioned it earlier, trying to get to have our first multi-time champion this season. And it took a few events in 2019 to get to that point as well. I think maybe 4 events, possibly 5, before we had a 2-time winner in 2019.
We had some folks wanting to know how Liz Culkin did in game number 3 down on lane 33 and 34. She had a game in the 170s. From not what she was looking to do there. She's now down on lanes 13 and 14. She now finds herself in 23rd position at 316 over. We do have a score update from Rick Barbera. Tournament leader Brianna Cote is plus 653. Second is Danielle McEwen at plus 584. Third is Stephanie Zavala at plus 570. Fourth, Deandra Asbeatty at plus 550. Lindsay Boomerstein was 727 to start the day, has now found herself in fifth position. Just 2 pins now outside of the top 4 at plus 548. Taylor Bailey is now sixth at plus 513. Seventh is Burgett at plus 505. At plus 500 even on the nose, Stephanie Johnson in eighth. In ninth, you got Shannon Plahowski at plus 481. 10th, Verity Crawley at plus 477. 11th, Maria Jose Rodriguez at plus 471. And in 12th currently is Jordan Richard at plus 453. That will be the number we will cut to, folks. Just outside at plus 415, which is 38 pins behind Diana Z. 2 pins behind Diana is Jody Westner. 13 behind Jody are both Haley Richard and Ashley Galante. It's really close. All the way down to where I would say about 21st position, Julia Bond at plus 320. Currently, again, the 12th number is Jordan Richard at plus 453. So 130 pins separating down to 21st, Julia Bond. As we move closer to this cut number, and we will have scores updated on PWBA.com here shortly. I just refreshed. I don't see them up over there yet. We get them a little bit quicker here when you guys get them at home, but they'll be there momentarily.
So, did you say that Stephanie Zavala moved into third place?
She did. She opened up this morning with 788 to start her day.
She's a player who, forget about the lane condition for this week right now. But she can strike.
Oh, yeah.
Period.
Kind of snuck up on us there. So leading the way this morning for opening 3 games of this round, Stephanie Zavala, 788. Danielle McEwen was 746. Brianna Cote at 744. Stephanie Johnson was 748. Lindsay Boomerstein at 727. Those are the players that have all bowled 700 or better to start this morning's third round of competition. We will cut from 32 down to 12 and come back to round 4 of qualifying, our final round of qualifying, at 2:30 Eastern. Cup ladder final tonight, top 4 will start at 6 p.m. Glad you're with us here on BullTV.com. With the scoring pace that we have here, as we watch these players that are solidified themselves inside the top 12 currently, looking to avoid a bad game. Keep themselves inside the cut number. Out of the top 25 players, every single player bowled 600 or better. Gives you an idea what kind of scoring pace we're looking at here. Polhowski way out by the gutter. Gets the messenger. That's what we saw yesterday too with Polhowski. If she's too deep, you see her going highlight. She has to move left as the adjustment and throw it harder and attack the outside part of the lane. Taylor Bailey not bowling well this game. Unable to find the pocket on a consistent basis, and Burgett's coming back here. She's got the front 4 looking for 5. She's got it. Nice work, Emil.
I didn't know we only get 200 characters. I was about to go like 1 through 15 or so. That was not an option.
Birgit leaves the 10 pin, so her streak will end. Danielle working on a 5-bagger here, looking to make it 6 on the left lane. Wachowski working on 279 max score. Again, as I mentioned, Taylor Bailey here. It's going to be interesting to see if she can bail out a game. No pun intended.
This is turning into that key game. I think every player this block has that one key game. Right now, it could be Dasha Kovalovan's key game. And I just turned my head and saw she's got spare 6 in a row to start. She's sitting at plus 281. Same thing could be said for Taylor Boltice. Potentially, this could be the key game for Deandra, but she's still in good position, obviously, in regarding the top 12. I think the players who are in the top 5 right now are thinking long term, a little bit at least.
Yeah, Taylor Bailey is really in jeopardy here of falling back.
Well, right now, if Cote just continues on the path that she's on, and it's been a serious path this morning, she would stay in front of Danielle at the moment. Right now, they're bowling next to each other, and they've been bowling next to each other, I think, just about all day. Not that they're paying attention, per se, especially at this part of the round or this part of the tournament. But, perhaps as competitors, it's all right. I know what D-Mac's doing. She knows what I'm doing. Taylor Boltice can get to 279 this game. Dasha Kovalova is still striking. And those two players right now on the outside looking in and could be trying to make one of those statement games, put themselves in better contention with 2 games to play, potentially. Birgit so far has made a nice comeback. Coming off her lowest game of the day, and more than likely, definitely her lowest game of the tournament. In fact, up until that 167, she hadn't shot under 200. Speaking of Birgit. Kayla Crawford with the early opens. Very nice learning experience, certainly for Kayla Crawford, because she was kind of on the top of the mountain. Then found herself at the bottom of the mountain in round 2 and had to climb back up just to get inside the top 32 yesterday. similar to Danielle, but much different in regarding the severity.
Taylor Bailey here going at a 167 pace. Currently in 6th.
Looks like we might be having a little bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
Although, Mike, if we've got one available, it wouldn't be a bad choice to peek in on at this moment in time.
Yeah, we'll watch a shot here from Taylor, and then I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way here.
Yeah, that works. Good shot. Much needed.
Ask and you shall receive.
That works for me.
Yeah, I've been switching up what we have classified as our PWBA channels down there to try to get clearer feeds, so they were a little out of whack there. But this looks pretty good.
So there you see it, Kovalova, and you see some additional light on the scoreboard there. As Voltice, first one in the 10th. Dasha, the first in the 10th already. Kovalova. Dang. Lord.
And there it is. There was the Emil bang. I love it, man.
Yeah, this could be that game for Dasha. This could put her, it is going to put her in good position with 2 games to go. Just to her left, Diana Zavyalova got a chance to get into the 260s. She's sitting at plus 415, of course. You see on the ticker, she is 14th. You see Gigi just out to the right of your screen. She can get into the 250s. She's going to give herself a chance with 2 to go. Asha Kovalova, 290.
Nicely done.
Volti shoots 265. And also on this pair at plus 400, Richard trying to get all she can. She'll be a max at 225. Bialova can't get 7 to go. She's going to be in the 250s. So a note about Amanda Green. Amanda was 2017 was her last full season on tour. She went to pursue a law degree. I believe she has completed studies. I am not sure if she is in practice as of yet, but one would assume that she is. I certainly hope to see her back soon at some point as well.
We do have some news to report on Liz Culkin. She has officially won a Century Award for pulled 178 and just followed it up with 278.
Well, Mike, if you want to go back to Taylor is finishing up. Don't think she's going to get to 200 this game. As Jody Western finishes things out. Yeah, by the way, that was our best visual. Let's see. Holton Verity, I think, is complete with this game. So we missed that score. Just in time to see Deandra's finish, Cote's finish, and Taylor Bailey's finish. We'll also have to keep an eye on Stephanie Zavala. She is complete with game 4. And a 10-pin for Bree. Well, that is how you get back. Week-to-week things can be so different for each player, but the response from both Asbeatty and Cote this week certainly excellent.
Yeah, Brianna just keeps bringing it. 258. Deandra with a nice shot, nice finish. Striking off 214. And just like that, we get ready to head into game number 5.
Same thing for, in fact, we can have a situation where 3 players, for example, it could be all 4 who make the show potentially. Because right now, Brianna Cote, Danielle McEwen, Stephanie Zavala, and Deandra Asbeatty were your top 4 coming into this particular game. All missed the cut last week in Lincoln. And they could all conceivably, especially at this point, make the show. To go from certainly no cash from a week ago to the show. All right, we can't forget about the giveaway. So game 5 sounds like a good time to do that. Maybe game 6 today, because it's getting serious. I'll leave that up to the chat. What do you guys think? When do you want to give away something? All right, game 5 it is. Sounds good. As we get to game 5, good time to tell you about Genesis Bowling, and it's the home of K-Motion featuring copper infusion, the #1 kinesiology tape in bowling. Visit bowlgenesis.com for more information. Again, that is bowlgenesis.com for more information on their K-Motion tape featuring copper infusion. Looks like game 5 might take a little time to begin. What do you think's going through players' minds as they make the trip to the next pair, Mike? And obviously, depending on how it's going, what's happening, maybe a little bit of time to kind of decompress. Not much, but just a few minutes, if you will. Decompress and get back to it a little bit. I mean, for some players, I think it's just a good opportunity, really, to just exhale.
Yeah, I would say communication. Communication, maybe a water break. You have to use the restroom. I actually saw Deandra Asbeatty update her social media after yesterday and said, 2 big games after I went to the bathroom. She said that on Instagram. It usually never happens, she said. So, yeah, a little break in the action is always good. We've got some score updates here that were just delivered. Brianna Cote is plus 711 now. Oh, thank heaven for 711. 80 pins back. Danielle McEwen at plus 631. Third now is Stephanie Zavala at plus 614. Plus 581 is Lindsay Boomershine, who has now moved into 4th position. At 564, there's a tie for 5th between Deandra and Birgit. At plus 547, we have Stephanie Johnson in 7th. Plus 538, Maria Jose Rodriguez now. In 9th, Verity Crawley at plus 529. 10th, Shanna Polhowski at plus 508. At plus 500 even now is Taylor Bailey. She is going in the wrong direction. She is now in 11th. Diana Z. 30 pins back at Taylor Bailey. She is the last cut position in 12th. At plus 470. Taylor Boltheis just 10 pins behind at plus 460. At plus 456. In 14th is Jordan Richard. Plus 441 is Jody Westner. She's in 15th. And Gigi Mason. Bowls 944. Her first 4 games is now 406 over. The number right now is 470 with 2 to play.
That was a huge game previously, of course, by Gigi. Again, that game 4 was a defining game for Gigi. We talked about Dasha. We saw the 290 there. Even Taylor Boltheis. As you mentioned, Mike, 13th.
Yeah, Dasha's 91 out of the cut now, so she needs another one of those games.
Last 2 for Gigi, 255, 258.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right, I think that is correct. On the ticker.
It is correct, Emil.
Fast and Furious. Not talking about any movies. But that could describe today's round of 32. Could describe the entire tournament. If we go back in time just yesterday, 76 players, 76 entries for the Greater Cleveland Open. Yorktown Lanes, big thanks to Jeremy and Aaron Cottrell. Proprietor's family-owned business.
Head back over, take a look at Lindsay Boomershine here, has the first four. Lindsay today bowled 960 to start her day.
I see people in the chat with obviously just about everyone has multiple players that they root for. I'm curious who those players are. You can mention them all if you want. It's up to you. It sounds like obviously everyone's got a couple of players that would like to see win, root for, or are rooting for. Again, through 4 games today. Stephanie Zavala, 10:32. Brianna Cote, 10:02. Danielle McEwen, 9:93. Again, through 4 games. There's a 9:95 in there from Stephanie Johnson. All right, little trouble there. On 1. Well, we'll need to get 2 here in a moment.
Make a quick switch here, Emil, over to PWBA 4. Missy Parkin and Carrie Smith, the only tandem with just 2 on their pair. And bowling a little bit quicker pace, but Missy's got a really nice game going here. Possible 290.
Yeah, that Fast and the Furious thing I mentioned is still happening because you look up and someone's in the 7th frame.
Yes, sir.
So Chris is right. Let's do it. Autograph signed souvenir program. That means the same thing. We could have 3 Brianna Cote autographed programs from this week so far.
That's true. When is the last time she wasn't in the lead? That's the question I want to think back.
We would have to start from the beginning.
Yeah, we would, and we don't have to go through all that. But I think
game 1, honestly. Verity Crawley shot 300.
Yep. But yeah, when Brianna got to the lead, she stayed there. She was tied with Deandra after game 11, right? Yeah, after game 11, she was tied with Deandra for both 259 the last game. And she's had the best ball reaction and the best scores this entire event.
Giveaway, a couple things. A, the giveaway is about to begin. You can see at the bottom of your screen, it's across all channels. Secondly, regarding programs, I don't know the answer to that, but I'll try to get you an answer at some point. I will send a note along regarding how programs may or may not be purchased. I don't want to say yes or no because I do not know that answer.
Emil, you put in a request to move over to PWBA 2.
I did.
Again, it will have to be done the old-fashioned way, but I will do so. And there you go.
Thank you. This one has Liz Colkin, Stephanie Zavala, and of course Stephanie Johnson.
Zavala, the highest score through 4 games. She bowled 10-32 to start her day. And she has missed once this game.
Congrats to Gloria. Gloria, the marketing team will be in contact with you so you can get your autographed program.
Just real quick, let's check in on Missy Parkin here. Second shot at 10.
Wow.
Okay. That's your regularly scheduled programming here.
That is not nice.
No. Still a great game.
So I had a couple people say that Dee was in the lead at least for one game yesterday. That certainly could be true. It probably is. I don't remember. But it was a battle for them throughout all of round one.
You know, Liz Culkin is bowled really well for about 7 or 8 games now, except for the 178 on 33 and 34.
She keeps making this climb. She's got on the probably one of the coolest jerseys we've produced, meaning PWBA, the Road to Richmond, the racing flag jersey. That was given to only the players who advanced to the tour championship in 2019.
249, 259, 178, 278 for Liz Culkin. Gonna be in the 240s here.
Definitely recall the tie last night for sure. Over to Gigi, Dasha. Dasha gained 90. She's going to potentially add 15 pins to her total. She can throw 2 in the 10th here. Oh man, that was an odd hit there. Maybe a little down lane wiggle. B, that's a good question. I do not know the answer offhand. I do not have a resourceful program book that we go to. If Fran is still listening, perhaps she may have some further insights. It certainly would also depend on, there'd probably be a few if there are. There'll be different scoring records for the number of games. There are a few out there. Different format changes, etc. Gigi trying to make a huge move here. And currently in 16th at plus 406. She could jump in the number here. It's shot. So she's going to be in the 250s. Verity Crawley in the 250s. We mentioned Liz Culkin shot 247. Stephanie Zavala just finished up. She shoots 229. Nicely done, Gigi. She too shoots 257. So we've got Gigi for Verity, who is already in the top 12. Obviously looking to gain position. Gigi is trying to get into the top 12. As is Dasha Kovalova. And her job is just a little bit more difficult now. There's Ashley Galante. Galante in 19th. At plus 386. Gonna need a little work. We talked about Haley Richard and how well she has bowled this week. Saw her in the top 10 a few times during qualifying. Delonte looking to fill it up. She would too get to the 250s. Give herself a small but outside chance with a big game in the final. Thanks, Fran. .258 for Ashley Galante on that pair and on the same lane. 57-58 respectively for Gigi and Ashley Galante. 213 for Haley Richard. All done on PWBA 3. And congrats to Gloria Teeter, who won the autograph souvenir program. Game 6 is coming up next. We'll be cutting to the top 12. And I got to be honest, someone said it earlier, no idea what's going to happen in this Game 6. The only things I can probably guarantee you are Brianna Cote and Danielle McEwen are just going to continue to post numbers. Big thanks to Storm Bowling. They are the leading manufacturer of high-performance bowling equipment. Visit your local VIP Pro Shop to pick up your new Storm bowling ball and bowl up a storm. Again, that is Storm Bowling, leading manufacturer of high-performance bowling equipment. Be sure to visit your local VIP Pro Shop and pick up your new Storm bowling ball and bowl up a storm. Game 6 on the way next here on Bowl TV.
Veronica predicting a 300 in game number 6. I'll have a score update here for you shortly. We'll start here with Danielle McEwen, Taylor Bailey, Kayla Crawford, Rocio Rostrepo, Burgett, and Shannon Polhowski. Your tournament leader continues to be Brianna Cote, plus 748. Danielle McEwen in second at plus 690. Third is Stephanie Zavala at plus 643. Fourth is Deandra Asbeatty at plus 634. Fifth is Burgett at plus 597. Sixth is Lindsay Boomershine at plus 592. Seventh is Verity Crawley at plus 586 at plus 563. And eighth is Maria Jose Rodriguez, plus 549. Stephanie Johnson is in ninth. And 10th, Taylor Bailey, plus 547, excuse me. 543 is Shannon Polhowski in 11th. 484 is 12th, Jordan Richard. 484. Just on the outside looking in at Jordan, Diana Z is at plus 471, 13 pins back. Plus 463 in 14th is now Gigi Mason. In 15th, Taylor Boltice, plus 453. Jody Westner at plus 445. Ashley Galante at plus 444. At plus 441 is Liz Culkin. So again, the number right now, 12th position, plus 484, Jordan Richard. Tournament leader Brianna Cote, plus 748. Danielle McEwen, plus 690. Stephanie Zavala, plus 643. Deandra Asbeatty, plus 634. Those are your top four right now. We're cutting down to top 12. Jordan Richard, plus 484, your current number. We have 6 athletes within 43 pins of 12th place. 6. So I'm going to throw it out there right now. We do have that possibility of a tie yet again for the 12th position. Very, very close. Shannon Polhowski with 3 in a row. Move over to PWBA 4. Diana Z opened in the first. Now looking at a 2-8 in the second. Diana is in 13th position, 13 pins back. Jordan Richard. We can slide over right next door and see Jordan Richard has started with strike spare. Diana picked up the 2-8. You can see it far off on the right side of your screen.
Can you do me a favor?
Yes, sir.
Can you read 11 through 14 again?
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Thank you.
Kulhowski is in 11th at 543. Twelfth is Jordan Richard plus 484. Diana Z at plus 471 is 13th. Gigi is in 14th at plus 463. Taylor Baltice plus 453 and 15th.
All right, I think I can get a good number going here. I think. T-Bull, by the way, is Taylor Boltice. I ran out of characters.
Okay.
So if you're looking at the ticker, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's a skip to 11. And then we go 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Yeah, and the glaring number here as it comes across is 11th at 543, 12th Jordan Richard at 484, who we have up on your screen right now. And there's a lot of people chasing Jordan. You got DZ, GG, and T-Bull. So, and even a little bit further back than that, Jody Westner, Ashley Galante still have a chance. But I would say your top 11 are pretty much set. Shannon Pahowski in the 11th position has the front 5. Front 6 now. You can watch her on PWBA 2 if you'd like to follow along there. Burgett has the front 5. Rocio can strike out for 279. So that pair right now could bowl 879 through almost 6 frames. 21 and 22, that is. Taylor Bailey started with the first 3 and then missed a single pin. She is in 10th. Lindsay Boomershine has the front 5. Looking for 6. Got it. Jordan Richard trying to protect 12. Having a hard time throwing strikes up on the board. Slide over next door. PWBA 4. Diana now with a triple up on the board, trying to apply some pressure on Jordan. I'm going to do a little field reporting and give you an update on Gigi and Taylor Boltice.
All right. Thank you. So let's see. Boomershine is in. Shannon at 11th, and we had just talked about that bit of a difference. Between 11th and 12th. .59 pins. Kulhowski with the front 7. As Beatty off to a very good start. She's going to be good. I was looking for Stephanie Zavala. Stephanie clean. Clearly not in any trouble. Stephanie Johnson in 9th. It's gone spare 5-bagger. That pair Mike talked about, 21 and 22, still striking. Here to get. Just somehow got the 7 to 10 the ball, and Chuck Gardner says that was nasty, and Biergate agreed. He's got the front 8 as well.
Yeah, Emil, give you an update around this cut number here. This is going to be a big shot for Diana up on our screen here. Gigi Mason through 6 frames can still bowl 268 as a max score. Taylor Boltice through 7 frames can bowl 246 as a max score. They are just off to the right down there, out of camera range. Stephanie Johnson was in 9th, and she's solidifying herself well into the top 12 with this game she's putting up. Take us back down here to where all the excitement is right now, as you were just reporting about. Shannon Pulowski up now on the front 8. Oh, inside. Uh-oh. Burgett with front 8. And right next door, we got Lindsay Boomershine, who's halfway home. She's got the front 6. Over on 23 and 24.
For the chat, 21 and 22 is the pair for the Step Ladder Finals. small, very small note, but there were some people asking about what ball Joshua was throwing, and that was a magnetic platinum, as told by Brother Gruff Eric Kraus. some really good runs here from both Puhalski and Burgett, and obviously Garcia can still get to 279.
And Taylor Bailey's going to have to be careful here. Going at a 215 pace. So with both players missing here, we'll move back down and take a look at Jordan Richard. Currently is the number. Nice shot by Jay Rich.
Going to come at a better time. Now the 243, or I should say the 243 max still in play. And here is Lindsey Boomershine. Here comes the boom. Oh. Yeah, we'll take that. But Lindsey coming into this game in 6th. For her right now, every pin gets her closer to 4th. Starting to see not a few strikes. I should see less strikes from Diana Zavyalova right now, which is certainly not what she is looking for.
So Emil, talking with the ball reps and looking at what was going on, Gigi Mason had a chance at 268 and she split. So she's not going to be able to get there. Taylor Boltice, the best she can do is 226. Isn't going to be enough to get there. Jordan Richards bowling a big enough game here to protect 12th. Maria Jose Rodriguez here with a potential 280, though, is setting herself up nice for the next 6 games. Currently a plus 563, looking to get closer to the top 4. And this is a big game for Maria going into a little lunch break here. Getting a bunch of wood heading into the next 6 games, trying to make the stepladder here tonight. Of course, Lindsey Boomerstein with the front 8 we've been covering here. But it looks like our top 12, Emil, is going to stay pat.
Front 9 attempt for Lindsey Boomershine. How does that compare to the first 2 weeks, Mike, regarding getting from 32 to 12? A lot of movement or none whatsoever?
First week there was a lot of movement. Last week it stayed the same from what I remember. It was protected.
All right, so protected draft picks again this week. And Lindsey Boomershine has the front 9.
She has bowled really well this event. Currently in 6th position.
He's been as high as 3rd place.
went 271 over for her first 6 games, 150 over yesterday evening. She's 171 over with this game, has a chance to go 271 over and tie our opening round score.
BC out here doing work still. Talked about Boomer Shine. Verity owns the lone unscathed game in the tournament. Wow, great shot there from Verity. Said that a lot about BC this week. All right, Boomer Shine. What do you say, lands? And the 7-pin. Richard to finish it out. .241 for Jordan. Indeed, Roger.
Just a little 259 out of Verity here. What's so amazing to me, Emil, is they're bowling on a 1.93 to 1 ratio pattern. It's still very flat. That's why they're the best.
Unofficially, Jordan Richards shoots gets to plus 511. Boomer Shine shoots 278. Olsen is going to go to bed because it's the opposite of where Olsen is. Brianna Cote has just continued to succeed, adding 248 this game.
I've got 556 is going to be the number. It's going to be Taylor Bailey. Unofficially, that's what I got.
Say that again.
I got Taylor Bailey at 556. What did Jordan Richard finish at?
241. Plus 511 unofficially.
Okay, so she will be 12.
Unofficially.
Round 3 of the PWBA Greater Cleveland Open. Ladies, out of those 4 shoots,
Trying to get you an interview here, Neil.
Actually, hold on a second.
concludes round 3 of the PWBA Greater Cleveland Open. Ladies, add up those score sheets, turn them into the front counter. We'll verify the scores and announce who will advance to our top 12.
I believe it's plus 525 for Jordan.
What was that?
I believe it's plus 525.
525. Okay.
Pretty sure I was looking at one below.
Yep, 525. That should be your number then. Taylor Bailey, 556. Shannon Plahowski went around her. And I'm going to get you DMAC.
Okay. All right, so while we wait for our interview, we will also, of course, wait for the final tallies regarding scores. By the way, Danielle McEwen finished with 202 today. Her low game since round 1. And that's a block of 1454 unofficially. And if I do a little addition, and how many games is that? 12?
I have our top 12 advancers. Your tournament leaders, Brianna Cote, following second, Stephanie Zavala, and third, Danielle McEwen, following fourth, Lindsay Boomerstein, and fifth, Deandra Asbeedy, and sixth, Birgit Norright, and seventh, Verity Crawley, following eighth, Maria Jose Rodriguez. All right, athletes, I have our top 12 advancers. Your tournament leader is Brianna Cote, qualifying second, Stephanie Zavala, and third, Danielle McEwen, qualifying fourth, Lindsay Boomershine, and fifth, Deandra Asbeedy, and sixth, Birgit Norright, and seventh, Verity Crawley, qualifying eighth, Maria Jose Rodriguez, qualifying ninth, Stephanie Johnson, in 10th place, we have Shannon Plahowski, qualifying 11th, Taylor Bailey, and your 12th and final qualifier at plus 525, Jordan Richards. See you at 2:30. Congratulations, ladies. We will return to the lanes at 2:30. 2:30 for the round of 12. The athletes that are looking to put their bowling balls on transport, please see Cecil. Any of the athletes that are sticking around and would like to order lunch, the snack bar is now open, so you may order lunch. The flatbreads are tasty. We'll see you at 2:30.
All right, folks. Waiting for Tennille's announcements to conclude. And please welcome in Danielle McEwen, DMAC. First and foremost, how you doing?
I'm feeling pretty good after my last couple of blocks.
Okay. We've had a lot of concerned folks in the chat, obviously, so they care about what's going on with your foot. Any updates in that regard that you can share?
Advil and ice and pretend it's not there.
Okay. Well said.
Instead of concern,
Obviously, you have put on a remarkable performance starting with last night. Block of 1545, 279, 288, 268, 277, 289. You come back today and put up a block of 1499. So, what has been working for you today and last night as well? How is this happening for you, especially considering the pain you're going through?
Yeah, I think I just finally found a way to kind of get my body to go through those last couple steps. That's really what my struggle's been, my push off step into my slide. And I just keep changing my focus and trying to get my body to do what I wanted to do. And then just trying to be a little bit more patient with it when it doesn't. I'm starting to be able to figure out what exactly my misses are coming from so that I can fix them quicker, and just trying to kind of piece it together as I go. And last night a little switch flipped and I just went with it.
The from the lane play perspective, obviously you've bowled here in the past, but the last time we were here, you did not make the cut, and I remember you were extremely frustrated by that. So how is there some additional gratification knowing that this was a place that you didn't have success with the last time we were here?
Oh yeah, of course. Definitely. And, especially with I had a rough start yesterday morning. So, those thoughts automatically come right back into your head. The voice that like, remember last time you were here, same thing's happening again. So to be able to kind of get away from that person talking in my head and be able to figure it out is a good feeling.
How do you handle things mentally in a high scoring environment when you know that if you happen to have a bad game and this week a bad game could be 2-0, you could lose pins to the field. So how do you stay strong mentally in this type of environment?
It's definitely hard. I mean, even with my last game, I feel like I kind of lost 100 pins just kind of watching the people around me and only, like you said, only shooting 2-0. So it's definitely challenging, but I try not to look at everybody else and just focus on myself and take it one shot at a time and hope that my score is just as good, if not higher.
If you take a look at yourself and the pace and your success and some non-success to this point at this event from the kickoff classic on, where are you now, and where do you see yourself obviously moving forward the rest of the season?
It's a work in progress right now. Like I said, I'm battling a lot of stuff with my body, just not listening and not doing what I wanted to do right now. So I'm working harder than I ever have to kind of figure it out and just keep growing and improving, and hopefully I can piece it all together.
One of the best in the biz at work, watching you go through the struggles here. I think the chat has been very appreciative of watching you through this grind. So, obviously, good luck this afternoon, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
That is Danielle McEwen, ladies and gentlemen, talking about the foot injury, of course, her performance here those last couple of rounds, and what she's dealing with, and then the mental capacity, of course, as well. That's something to keep in mind, and we've talked about it. When the scores are high, obviously you got to stay in it mentally because the minute you let up, you could lose ground to the field. And we'll bring back Mike Flanagan into the mix. I kind of like that shot. Let's go back to that one. Yeah, let's go to that one.
Yeah, not bad. Not
I
bad.
switched it up on you. It was an accident, by the way, but it looked great on screen.
Yeah, could you kind of sense a little bit? You and Danielle have a great relationship, but she just this foot thing, she's just kind of over it.
Well, no doubt.
But boy, some great sound bites from Danielle there, and I really liked the questions that you asked, and I enjoyed listening to that interview. So it's gonna be fun to watch her down the stretch here for sure.
Yeah, obviously DMAC and talking about the minutes of times and the work that she's put in. She's a consistent worker, constant worker, and that has certainly showed. One note, Mike, before you get into what you had, both Brianna Cote and Danielle McEwen, which was a note I missed last night in my story, tied for the highest block at 15:45.
Mhm.
Brianna's happened in round one, of course. DMAC did the same in round two. Today, however, we got to give some love to Stephanie Zavala,
Oh yeah.
who has moved herself into second place after starting the day in 11th. What did you see from her? What did you like?
Every time I watched, she was striking, and she had big strings out there. I remember there was one game right here in front of us. One miss the entire game. I mean, just huge scores. It was out there for the ladies to get, and some got a lot. And we're gonna have to crank out the numbers here when we come back for our last 6 games. But it's going to be a shootout to try to make this top 4, and I think there's going to be some heartache because there's going to be some ladies that are going to not make the top 4 that say, I averaged 235 this week and didn't make the show.
No, 100%. Zavala shoots 15-18 this morning here in round 3 of the Cashers round to move into second place. So right now, it looks to be Brianna Cote, Stephanie Zavala, Danielle McEwen, Lindsay Boomershine, your top 4 at the moment. Deandra Asbeatty is 5th. Beardegit is 6th. Verity 7th. Maria Jose Rodriguez 8th. Stephanie Johnson 9th. Shannon Pluhowski is 10th. Taylor Bailey remains in the top 12. And Jordan Richard is your cut number in 12th. And that was at plus 525 for those scoring at home. Final thoughts, Mike?
We got about an hour and a half, and we'll be back here with 6 more games. It's qualifying. It's not match play. Some people get confused because it's 1 per lane. It's going to be quick. It's going to be fast. It's going to be high-paced. We're going to see a lot of strikes. I predict we're going to see a 300 in the next set. I think we probably will with these scores. We're due. And gonna have some jockeying for some position, I think, down the stretch. It's pretty bunched up at the top, but I think the real story here is Brianna Cote. We just can't talk about her enough. I mean, with the scoring pace, you just have to continue to pound 250 after 250 after 250, and she's been doing it. It's also going to be interesting to see if Deandra Asbeatty can make a run here. She's been near the top most of the event. Find herself a little bit further down right now, but I think she can make a big run too.
Cote with a 96-pin lead for the top seed right now as we head into the round of 12 later this afternoon. In front of, again, Stephanie Zavala, another block of 1487 for Brianna Cote. Mike, let's take a look at the schedule for the remainder of the day, just so everyone is clear on what time we begin. 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We will begin, of course, our round 4 qualifying, still total pins, but this is the round of 12, and then obviously we will cut to the top 4 for tonight's step ladder finals, which will begin at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Well, Mike, what do you think? Let's go ahead and call it a day for now, and get ready for 2:30. How's that sound?
Yes, sir.
All right, there you have it, folks. Big thanks to the United States Bowling Congress and the USBC Board, the Bowling Proprietors Association of America, and the BPAA Board, Kegel, the official lane maintenance provider of the PWBA, our PWBA players providing the intense, exciting, and today very fast and furious competition to watch. Thank you all for watching as well, our Bowl TV community. We appreciate you. We had a lot going on this week and a lot going on today. You guys hung around and stuck with us and were able to bring you a very good round. The next round should be even better leading into our step ladder final. So thank you so much. For Mike Flanagan, my name is Emil Williams Jr. For our entire PWBA staff, including Tennille Milligan, our Director of Operations, Caitlin Nelson, Cecil Scarborough, and Rick Barbera handling scoring this week. We will see you this afternoon, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, the round of 12. Remember, this has been a presentation of the 2021 PWBA Greater Cleveland Open. Yorktown Lanes, shout out to the Cottrell brothers. It's been a presentation of BowlTV.com. Bowling lives here. See you this afternoon.